This is a quick review of the River Pro 2, which is this one. And then we have the Delta 2 Max. And then we have the Delta 2 Max, which is this one, both Ecoflow. And these are basically portable power batteries. And this is the one that I bought first. And when I bought this at first, I was really impressed. The one thing that used to not impress me was its efficiency. And I thought, now when I bought this one, I thought that the efficiency would be the same as this one. I felt like the efficiency for this one was pretty low. If you're wondering what efficiency is, let me look at how Google defines efficiency. So battery efficiency is the ratio of energy a battery outputs to the energy it takes in while charging. So this one is a 768 watt hours battery. And I'd say that when you use it, you end up maybe using around, on the higher side, 560. So I remember, like, roughly, I would say that this gives you roughly 75% of its, yes, it gives you around 75% of its output. And then we have this one. So this has really impressed me, because with the Delta Max 2, I'd say that the efficiency is over 90%. That's how efficient this one is. So try and imagine, the efficiency of the small one is 75%, but the efficiency of the big one is around 90%. So I want us to do like a short experiment where I'm going to just use the app and basically change the lights, like the lights that I'm using. I want to start using these batteries to power them, and then you'll see what I mean. Then I'll use the app, and you can look at the app and see how much this one is saying that it's using and how much this one is saying that it's using. And then I can tell you, because this is a 2048 watt hours battery. This is a 768 watt hour batteries. So yeah, let's do that experiment and then you can find out. But don't let my opinion, because maybe the battery that I got was defective. Maybe that's the reason why it has very low efficiency. So there could be that. I've not tried to contact Ecoflow and find out if that's the reason, but the efficiency in this one is super impressive. I think this comes with a 5-year warranty. So maybe after this I need to call them and ask them, like, why is the efficiency in this one so low as compared to the efficiency in the big one. So these are basically the batteries that make sure that the podcast that I do, it always can always be edited and can always be shot. So this one makes sure that the editing happens. This one makes sure that the shoot happens. This one can serve a whole studio, lights and everything. And as I keep saying, the efficiency is over 90%. So yeah, let's do this quick experiment and then we come back and have the final thoughts. I'm holding this light in my hand, and I've already connected my iPad to this Ecoflow. As I said, this is the River Pro 2, and it's saying that it's using around 23 watts. And what happens when we switch on this light? Let's see how much more wattage it's using. So when we switch on this small light, I expect this wattage to go up. It's still showing me 23%. I don't know why it's still showing 23% up. I guess, yeah, this is interesting. Does it show that this is using 0 power? Okay, so it's still using 23 watts when we use this small light. But now I want us to go big and use there's a much bigger studio light that's just above me. And when I put that on, now you can see the wattage that I'm using has skipped. It went to a high of 118, went to a low of 95. Let's see where it settles. So now the amount of wattage, the amount of power that I'm using is, I'm charging the iPad. There's a small light for my face, and then there's a huge light above, and we're using around 114 watts according to this one. Yes. So as we continue, I want us to use now also a big light that's on my right hand side. So let me plug that in. Right now it's showing me we are at 120 watts. So let me see how much we end up with. So as you can see, the power is going up, and we end up with 179 watts. So if you look at the 179 watts, it's telling me that if it was to run this, it would run it for around an extra 2 hours and 50 minutes. This I feel like the efficiency has actually improved, because 170, if I was to multiply by 3 hours, that gives me around, no, it's not improved. Yes. Remember what I talked about, where I was saying this is a 768 watt hour battery that is, but even if we are to use 180 and push this to 3 hours, we'd still end up with, like, the maximum power that we're getting is around 540 watts, and that's the problem that I have with this. I feel like the efficiency is very low. So if I'm miscalculating, maybe you should be the one to tell me, but I feel like the efficiency, if this is what I'm using and this is what I'm getting from this, another counter argument would be that we are not at 100%, we are at 90%. So if you're working with this is showing that it's 89%, but if we were to change the 89% and look at it as 90%, what do we have? Let's say with 90% and we are using 168 watt hours, it's telling us with 168 hours we still have 2 hours and 52 minutes. 2 hours and 52 minutes, let's put that as 2.84. So it means that we are getting the maximum amount of power that we can get from this is 477 watts. But if we are to still look at it and say this has should have 768 watt hours. So 768 watt hours, if you are to do 0.9 of that, 0.9 of or let's just do 0.88 of 768 watt hours, what do we end up with? We end up with 675.84. But remember, the maximum power that it's told us it can give us right now is 477. I can round that off to 478 and then divide by that by 675, and I end up with an efficiency of around 70.8%. So that's the problem that I have with this battery. I feel like the efficiency is too low. And now what I want us to do is I want to switch, and my switch is going to be simple. So I'm going to switch off this, switch off the lights, and then move the same everything from the Ecoflow River Pro 2 to the Delta Max 2. So as you can see right now, I'm charging the iPad, and I'm using the fast charging ports, and this is saying that it's charging at around 23 to 26 watts, which is the same thing that was happening when we were using this one. But now I want us to add the extra light so that you can see what I was talking about when it comes to efficiency. So the first light that I'm going to use is this one. I'm going to add this light, and the other difference between these two is where you put the power. So the power is behind. So excuse me as I move this. This is pretty heavy. It's around 19 kilograms heavy. So I'll put that power, and then let's see the difference in power that comes. So after doing that, of course, I have to switch on the AC. So that's the AC power. So this right now, what we are doing is we are powering the small light, and apart from, so we are powering this small light, and we are also powering the light that's coming from above, and it's telling us that it's using around 135 watts. And then another thing that I want us to do is also power the big light from the other side. So let's power that from the other side, and you see. So don't forget, with this one we are at 100%. So if you're at 100%, it shows that 100% is 2048 watt hours. So that's 2048 watt hours. And what I want it to do is I want it to stabilize a little bit, and after it stabilizes, we can see. So we are using 198 watt hours. So that's 198, and it's telling me that if we use 198, we can use it for 8 hours and 40 minutes. So that's 8.6667. So if you multiply that, we get around the total power we are getting, it's 1715. So 1715, if we divide that by 2048, we end up with an efficiency of around 83%. Okay, so I guess maybe the efficiency has gone down. Remember, this one was giving us an efficiency of around 71%. This one is giving us an efficiency of around 83% or 84 if I was to round off. So that's one of the things. But when I'm using like the studio lights where I push the power to around 500 watts, it normally tells me that it can last for around 4 hours. So that's one of the things that I found interesting. I feel like the efficiency of this one is much higher than the efficiency of the small one, because even if it's 83% and this one is at 71%, you can see the big discrepancy of 10%. So I don't know if the specific battery that I got was defective, because there's no point, there's no day when I've tried to use this one and the efficiency was at 80%. There's times I've used this one and it was showing me an efficiency of 90%. So, and it's super quiet. It takes a lot of time before the fan kicks in, but this one, the fans just kick in like immediately after just a very small load. But still, these two are like some of the best power banks out there, because one thing I can assure you is when you have this, you'll never worry about power, because in a place like Kenya where Kenya Power is always, you just make sure that they are fully charged. Like you can see, this one is fully charged at 99%, because I'm just using the lights right now. That's why the power is going down. So and as you can see, it's even at 100%, you're saying there's still 88 hours and 40 minutes remaining, and at 99% it's still saying the same. That's how efficient this big one is. The small one really struggles, but it's still good enough. The difference in price is this one in Kenya, when it's on offer. I bought it when it was on offer, so I'd have to check the price and see how much the Ecoflow 2048 is going for right now. Ecoflow 2048. So I bought it when it was on offer, so the price came to around 200,000 shillings. So that was the price when I was buying this, 204 to be specific. I can see, yes, it's still around 204. You can get that on, I've seen a website called switch.co.ke. It's going to around 204,000. So that's the price that I bought this one for. This one was much more cheaper, but when I bought this, it was not, the price has even gone lower since then. But let me see, I bought it for around 85,000 shillings, but right now you can get it on offer for around 75,000. So it's 10,000 shillings less than I personally bought it. And like if you look at the specs, they're saying that this one comes to around 7.8 kilograms. And if we are to go back to what we were looking at before, which is the Delta 2 Max, the Delta 2 Max is much heavier, and the weight, I think the weight is around 19 kilograms. I'm trying to check that, but I can't seem to find it. It's around 19 kilograms. But I think one of the reasons why these things are always on special offer here in Kenya is the fact that a lot of people don't know how powerful these things are. Like, they are so powerful, because they say that if you have to use these ones daily, if you use them daily and you charge them daily, it's going to take 10 years before the efficiency now, remember we were at 80%, before we go now to the 80% of that 80%, which is around 60%, it would take 10 years for that to happen if you're using it daily. Remember, this is not something you're going to use daily, but this is power on the go. You can charge this using your car. That's another thing that maybe people don't know. Let's say you're going up country and you've not already set up power up country. This is a car charger, so you can just put the charger cable comes in the box, so you can just put it here, charge as you drive. And the same is true with this one. Yeah, these are the car chargers Yes, so you have that. So so that's what I can say about these Ecoflow batteries. This is like some of the best batteries that you can buy. And another thing that of course impresses me is the fact that they come with the app, and with the app you can actually see. And I remember, as I told you, the efficiency of this one is so good that right now it's saying it's at 98%, and it's telling me that this can last for 8 hours and 45 minutes. Remember, it was saying 8 hours and 40 minutes. So this is one of the reasons why I think this is the one. This is the one, but it needs a lot of investment. The only reason why I got this one was for the studio, but this other one is for home use. This one will serve your TV, home theater system. Like I run a 7.1 system on this, 65-inch TV on this, running the internet and running everything, and it stays for at least 3 hours. This one, on the other hand, normally tells me that it's going to stay for around 8 to 9 hours. I've never used this all that time, and because the power always comes back much earlier than I expect. So yes, this was just a quick review of the Ecoflows. This was the battle of the Ecoflows. So you have the River Pro 2. And apart from the River Pro 2, you have the Delta 2 Max. And the Delta 2 Max, this is the ultimate one, man. Like, there's a new Delta 3 Max here, but this one I think is going to serve me till the nuclear batteries come out, which they are saying will be lasting for 50 years. Try and imagine a nuclear battery this size that lasts for 50 years. Would you ever need to be connected to the grid? That's something to think about. Isha.